Well, hello there, Tankers of the Blitz universe. I'm Flossie, and I know I am making a video at a pretty strange time, especially with everything that has been going on now. I do appreciate all of the support lately. This video is definitely not about any of that, though. I just haven't made a video in like 13 days, so I felt like I should start up again with the review videos. Yeah, as a lot of you guys have been asking me to start up again. So today we're going to be reviewing the 907, which is a tank that I actually haven't seen many people talk about since it got PBR, which is kind of surprising to me because this tank looks amazing with PBR now. Its legendary camo looks just so much more vibrant than it used to. So in today's video, we're going to be breaking into the tank's stats, talking about why it has one of the best mechanics in the entire game, and breaking into 3 live games to kind of showcase its playstyle. We'll see how bad at Blitz I am after not playing the game for like 2 weeks. But anyways, starting off with the gun, it deals 320 damage on its standard shells, 270 on its heat, and 420 on the HE. So pretty average alpha damage for a tier 10 medium at that. As for its gun depression, it has 7 degrees, which is actually pretty good for a Soviet medium. I will say that right now. Its average penetration is, again, pretty standard for a tier 10 medium. It does have AP standard, which we love, don't we, guys? And it has 339 heat pen and 54 HE pen. HE pen's kind of terrible, but the heat pen is pretty solid. Its overall gun handling is really good. 2.8 seconds of aim time with V-stabs on, and dispersion of 0.272 means you are going to be hitting most of your shots in this tank. And it does have almost 3,300 DPM while using calibrated shells, which I recommend everyone use on this tank. Its mobility is also really good. It goes 60 forward and 25 in reverse, so you are going to have zero problem getting in and out of bad situations. And overall, the armor profile on this tank is really solid as well. It has a very strong turret, a lot of troll spots on it. You can pen the hatches on the roof, and with some caliber guns, you can just go straight through the roof of the tank, but the majority of its armor profile is really troll. Think of it like a slightly less armored T-22, because the sides are really well angled, which means you are going to find that a lot of people who are shooting, especially APCR at you, are going to get bounces, and they're not going to be able to pen you very easily. Now, why does this tank have one of the best mechanics in the game? Well, that's very simple. It's the same mechanic that is on the T100LT, which means when you shoot at someone, it doesn't matter if you pen or not, you will spot them for 20 seconds instead of the normal 10. And that basically just gives you a straight up advantage, because if you are both spotted and you shoot the enemy player, they are going to be spotted for double the amount of time that you are. And some players don't know much about this mechanic, so they'll just sit and basically think, oh, I'm going to be unspotted after 10 seconds, and then they pull out, and guess what? They're still spotted because it's 20 seconds. So it's a really, really, really strong mechanic. I think it's actually probably the strongest mechanic in the whole game. Same with the mechanic that's on the LT, the Chinese light tank. That one's a really strong one as well. But I think this is just straight up better, because you can simply sit in a spot, keep spotting enemies for your team, and then the tank destroyers are going to have a much easier time of dealing with the enemy players, because they're going to be able to spot them for much longer, or they're going to stay spotted for much longer. So it's a fantastic tank. If you guys don't have the 907 and you have the chance of getting this tank when it comes out for gold, I do actually recommend it if you are into driving more armored mediums, like more heavily armored mediums, especially because the gun's accuracy is so nice. Like, you're able to just hit really easy weak spot shots on all of your opponents that you're facing. So I like the 907. I think it's always been a good tank, and now that it actually doesn't look terrible anymore, I don't know, it makes it much more fun to play a tank that just looks cool. Like any sort of PBR tank, I'm more likely to play that than one of the non-PBR tanks, because that's sort of how my brain works. I'm like, if a tank looks cool, I'm probably going to play it more. So I get myself nuked a little bit here, like a bit of a monkey. I don't know really why I kept poking that guy, but I wanted to pick up the kill on that 4202. So, oh well, I bled some health for it. It is what it is. We do get a lovely shot into the 26AV4's side of his superstructure there, so that's good. And I'm just going to keep sitting here. My turret armor is strong enough to where I'm not too worried about people like this E5 and V4, but I do have to keep moving back and forth for them to not pen me. If I was to just sit still, they would actually be able to pen my roof, like I said. So in this tank, you always want to be using that good mobility, whether it be to wiggle back and forth while you're fighting hull down opponents, or whether it be to flex around the map quickly with your 60 top speed. Either or, use your mobility to your advantage, and you will do well in this tank. So, I'm going to push on up now because this 62A is probably dead. There we go. Luckily, we average rolled him. And, oh, 183 is dead as well. So all that's left is the 4005. And, I mean, this wasn't a fantastic game. Honestly, I haven't played this game in a hot minute, so don't expect the craziest of results. But we could probably pick it up a little bit in the next 2 games. I'll call this my warm-up game. Kind of just going over the tank's initial stats and my opinions on it. So, yeah. Okay first game. I mean, I didn't really do anything crazy. 2600 damage is kind of lame, if I'm going to be honest. But, yeah. We'll get more damage in the next 2 games. Trust the process, guys. So, yeah. 907 carries one of the best mechanics in the game. Definitely. Especially having it on a medium tank. I don't know why, but Wargaming has this love of giving random tanks mechanics that were available only on one tank initially. I don't know why. Because they're, like, giving the E50M reactive armor next update, and they're just throwing, like, tungsten shells on, like, 10 different tier 10s, and I don't really understand why they're doing that. I mean, they're trying to spice up the meta, but I think certain mechanics should only be for certain tanks. Like, the T100LT mechanic should be only on that sort of tank. Like, a light tank, it makes more sense to have that mechanic on, again, a light tank. This one... It doesn't really make sense to me why it's on this sort of vehicle. It's just making this tank way too strong for no reason. Like, I don't get it. But anyways, we're on Molendyke here, and I do see that they have a Bat Chat, T22, 4005, and 183. Those are the 4 tanks I'm really worried about because, of course, the medium tanks are what's going to be contesting me on medium side, and then, of course, I have to worry about the tank destroyers in the back. However, looks like their whole team's not even playing over here. I really don't know what to say about this. There are 4005s in mid. Interesting. Okay, well, let's see if I can get a shell into this Kron. There we go, 325 into his side there. I'm not spotted, of course, because I am very far away in a medium tank. This is the advantage of using a medium tank, is that your camo rating is just obviously going to allow you to stay unspotted more easily in a lot of situations. So, now that I know they don't have tanks at all on medium side, I'm going to make my way towards the flank here and try and get rid of this E100, or sorry, not E100, this Kron, who is probably still sitting here. I think that's who I was looking at earlier. I don't know. I can't remember, but there was a tank over here in mid that I'm going to try to shoot at now and see where he is. Where is this guy? Did he dip? Oh, the Kron's gone. Okay, well, I might get shot at by this Kron now. Oh, well. It is what it is. Oh my gosh, bro. Well, I am all for farming AFK players because, especially if they're 183s, I don't want this guy waking up halfway through the game full HP and nuking me. So I'm going to get rid of this guy quickly. We're already at 1900 damage. This is going to be extremely free damage for me, but I'm going to take it. So there we go. Vickers might have the reload on me. Yeah, he does. Okay. So there are still 4 tanks left. And a lot of them are in mid. So what I'm going to do is... Oh, hello, 57. Hello. I'm going to apparently bounce the 57's turret. I absolutely hate the turret armor on that tank. It's way too troll for what it should be. But I'm going to sit on this sort of bridge here because I can hide my hull from these enemy players. And showing only my turret is the best way of getting bounces in this thing. Wow, that 57 heavy is actually really red for what he is. Like, that tank is just all red on its turret. Especially when I'm trying to load AP and pen him. Interesting. But the 57 is on a reload, so I'm not too worried about rushing him. Hopefully our Vickers does help us, and it seems like he is. So far, we're already at 3,200 damage. I know a lot of that was free damage, but, oh boy. Of course he pens me twice. Yeah. Still, decent damage. Even without that AFK, we would still be doing well. And the thing is, you can see here, like, the turret armor is good, but the hull is not that great. You do have to watch out for your hull being exposed, especially the lower plate and mid section, actually. Like, the upper plate can be penned directly in the middle quite easily. So you do have to watch out for that. Here we have the 4005, and obviously I'm going to shoot at this guy. As I'm not trying to get clipped out by him. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go for the Bat Chat, because in my opinion, the Bat Chat is way more deadly than that 4005. Simply because he can run away, like, super fast from everyone, and the 4005 is kind of screwed in that spot. So, yeah. Especially with the Vickers rushing in to kill him. So, here we go. Let's get a shell into the Bat Chat. Tracking him in place, surprisingly. I was not aiming at the track wheel, but, I mean, I'll take it. So, there we go. And we do finish him off, and we did a lot better this game than our last game. Even with farming that AFK player for most of his health, we still did 5,200 damage in our second battle. So I think that's a pretty good showcase of what the 907 can do when you use your mobility and you really think about the situation properly in that game. Basically, what I was thinking is, well, if their mediums are not going to be on medium side, then I have to then make the move quickly, push up, and try and flank around and deal with the tanks that were in mid. That's kind of how you want to play medium tanks in general. You really want to look for those opportunities where the enemy team kind of is lacking in terms of map control. So if you can gain map control on the enemy opponents, and if their enemy mediums don't play very well, then you can get yourself into good farming situations like that. So, game number 3, we are on Alpidstadt, and this is an interesting map for medium tanks. This will either go really well for me or really badly, and the reason I say that is because looking at their lineup, they don't have any medium tanks on the enemy team. However, I'm still going to play it very carefully because this does not mean that they will not be on medium side. From past experience, they could just send all of their tanks to medium side. This happens so randomly, and it's so annoying when it does happen, because you're just not expecting it, and then you get swarmed on medium side by 7 people who you don't expect to be there. So anyways, I'm playing it safe. They are not, in fact, on medium side. However, look at this. You can see the E100 is completely lost. I don't know what bro is doing in the river right now, but he's actually probably going to get a shot into me. Oh. I guess you can see the good reverse speed on this tank helping me out there. Getting me out of that troublesome situation there, allowing me to back up before he can shoot at me. And now I'm going to use my good turret armor. Bro is only going to shoot HE at me, which I don't really care about, so that's fine with me. And as of right now, I see that like all of their tanks are just completely on the other side of the map, basically meaning that this E100 is by himself, so I am not worried about sitting in the open too much. As their TDs aren't even over here. You can see their V4s on C-side, and so is their Ho-Ri. And that was a horrible shot from me, but it doesn't matter at all, because I can just get another shell. Never mind. Tough. Okay. I was hoping to get another shell into the E100, but interesting. Angling there. So let's get another one into him. He does miss me, because this guy is just too skilled at the game for penning shots. Who needs to do that anyways, guys? There we go, 293 roll into his tank, and hopefully I can, like, high roll kill him. I don't know. Let's see. Yes! Thank you, RNG. So we do kill the E100, and now we basically have free reign of medium side, which is excellent. And, I mean, their whole team's just falling apart anyways. It doesn't matter if I, like, do anything more, really, this game. This is just going to be a win no matter what. This enemy team put themselves in the worst situations possible, and to be fair, Wargaming kind of screwed this team over by not giving them any mediums to contest me. This is why I say, Wargaming, you need to balance out your matchmaker more by giving equal amounts of mediums, lights, tank destroyers, heavies on each team, because this is completely unfair what I am dealing with right now. It was going to be a win like 90% of the time, simply because I was the only medium on both teams, and that's what happens when you get yourself into one of these easy winning situations. Enemy team can't do anything when you have a medium tank flanking you with one of the best mechanics in the game. I was just able to keep everyone spotted, and I was able to deal with that E100 very, very quickly. So, that's the 907 for you. First game was off a little bit to a rocky start, honestly, in terms of damage. But we finished off strong, a 5k game and a 4.1k game. So I will definitely take that right there. pretty good showcase of why I think this tank is so strong. And although it's not in the shop right now, as far as I know, I haven't really looked at the shop in a little while. But when it does come into the shop, I do recommend you guys at least think about picking this tank up, because it's actually one of my favorite mediums in the game right now. And I think it's a super strong addition to anyone's garage. So for any of you out there who are not yet subscribed to my channel, welcome on in. Please subscribe when you're while you're watching this video still, if you've made it to the end. And it's a good way to support the channel and stay up to date when I post videos almost daily. Yes, I will get back to a more normal upload schedule, since my schedule at work should be a little bit better now. We'll see. But for any of you out there who aren't subscribed, do that now, as I said. And anyways, I'll see you all in the next one. Thanks again for all the support lately. And yeah, peace.